Classroom management is one of the biggest parts of being in the classroom as a teacher. And the number one thing to help with that is setting up your routines and procedures. But we're at the point in the year where we've established those, we're maintaining them, we're reinforcing them, but sort of what else goes on in the classroom in order to make sure that you are following through with behavior management? Well, that's what I'm sharing today. I'm actually taking you inside my classroom and I'm going to share with you all of the different behavior management systems, routines, things that I use in my classroom daily. If you're new here, I'm Rachel Vincent, and I love sharing ways to help teachers simplify their classrooms and their teaching. So let's talk my behavior management system. I use Class Dojo. I pay them for their student jobs. I have videos on how I run student jobs, how I use Class Dojo to pay them, how I run my class store. I have all that in more detail, so I will link those below for you so you can get sort of that system. All three go together. That's where most of their Dojo points come from. I do give them Dojo points for other reasons, but I share all about that in those videos, so I'm not going to share about those in this. I'm just going to share some of the other things I do. Okay, so this is my team board. I have a table number for each of them, and everybody starts down here and then moves up the board if they transition quickly, if they follow directions. It really is more so for a transition thing, but I also do it like this table is all at level 0 or all participating, and when they get to the finish, they get to go to the sticker store that I have over here. So it's just those stickers from Amazon. They're cheap and easy, and you get so many that you never run out, so they love them. It's such a great incentive. I will link this below for you, but what I really love about this is the fact that, or the way I run it at least, is once so table 3 just got their stickers, so they just went back to the bottom and we'll start again, but none of the other ones move. They just keep moving until they get to it. So if you have like 1 or 2 students that just can't or struggle, their table will eventually get it. Another thing I do are the little star jar. These are all over Amazon, but this is for related arts. If they get a good report for music, PE, anything like that, we add a star, and when we fill it, they'll get a little prize. Another thing that I am doing this year is, it's not necessarily behavior, but I am constantly being asked questions. So these are the 5 things they have to check, which their brain, because sometimes they just need to think about it. Check the board, because directions are usually on the board. They can check their notebooks. They can ask a friend, and then they should ask me. I also like to have what they can do if they finish early. Usually I have it on a must-do, may-do list on the board, but sometimes there's not, and it's always there, and then I have our other options. I also use supplies and different things, so when it's time to glue in our science notebook or different things like that, I'll put it up here. I also have our textbooks that we use, so I can write the page number, and so they can check the board of where to find the page number. So it might not necessarily be behavior, but it's definitely classroom management. Then each week our class sets a goal. This week is making our lunch choices without needing reminders. Last week was being at the voice level 0 at the right time. And so at the end of each day, we kind of check in to make sure that we're meeting this goal, what we can do to move forward. I did have this, I don't normally do this regularly, but we had some moments where we weren't at level 0 when the announcements were on, and then another important time, and so I am taking 2 minutes from tomorrow's recess just because that's like we have to be at 0 when the announcements are on type of thing. We also have a visionary of the week that get to do a bunch of different things each week, and their little sign goes here when they're it, and they do get to have show and tell. They get to sit on a wobble stool one day. They get to have free time on their Chromebook, and we all fill out these little papers for them. I have a whole product on that. If you're interested, I'll link it below. In my TPT store, I didn't make this, but I also got this from TPT, so I'll link that as well. But that just really helps with building community, getting to know our classmates, being respectful, and writing nice things about them. That kind of goes hand in hand with classroom management. A couple other things that I have that go with classroom management are when they can ask to use the restroom. Typically, I only put this up if I'm direct teaching, but they ask with the letter R and when they can get water. And then we talked about this, when to use each voice level at the beginning of the year, and then I have our voice level chart. Our class was really struggling with talking at the beginning of the year, so I took one of our morning meeting times and we created this chart right here. We did this together. They came up with all of these on their own, so it's really nice now that I can be like, hey, we're watching a video and we're not supposed to be at level 0 during a video, because that's what one of them said.
So it's kind of perfect. Also have our class rules, and I'm always reminding students to make a better choice when I do the number 1, which is redirect. It's kind of like a warning, but I'm just redirecting them. A sideline is typically moving away or moving to the end of the line or taking a break. A reflection break would be in another classroom, and then parent contact. And so I have those all posted. And then a visual timer helps keep kids on track, helps keep me on track. That is definitely something I use often in our classroom. So like I said, one of the biggest things we have been struggling with is just talking, the amount of talking we're doing. And great kids, and when I, ask them to be quiet, they typically do, but I'm just having to ask over and over again. So I needed some like real concrete consequences. And so after we made that talking chart, I decided most of my consequences on Dojo don't take points away. I just want to communicate with parents that, hey, your child is struggling with this. But once we did the whole talking lesson, I told them now talking when you're not supposed to be talking is going to be a minus a Dojo point. And personally, I always forget to go into Dojo to do it. So I have a tracking sheet that I use, and I pull it out only when I need it, and we've been needing it for talking. But as you can see, this week is not actually, there's only one student that really has had to have it because they knew the consequence was losing a point. So it's just a simple sheet. The students' names are over here, and then I have a code for what it is that goes with our Dojo points. So bathroom is just like misbehavior in the bathroom, but you can see here that as I started doing it, I could tell that it was just that one student, so I'm able to deal with that differently, thinking it was everyone, because everyone has really worked hard since having that talking lesson, since letting them know they were going to lose a Dojo point. It has really worked for them. So I haven't had to use this as often as I thought I would. So sometimes having trackers like that, just really, you're able to see the data visually and see really where the areas are happening. And so this is one of those things that I only pull out when I absolutely need it. I will link everything that I can, whether it's from my personal TPT store, from somewhere else, or just some freebies that I have for you down below in the description.
If you're looking for more ways to help enforce and teach those routines and procedures, I have a classroom management guidebook for free. I will link that below. All you have to do is give me your email and I will send that over to you to your inbox for free. And a part of managing a classroom is making sure students' materials and supplies are organized. So if you want to see how I run that in my classroom, check out the video that's on your screen now.